Well, it looks like we even have one of these gay-ass games journalists admitting that Kay Vess from Star Wars Outlaws is ugly. Even they cannot deny the fact that she is weird looking and hideous, and just like many other video game characters, purposely made to look ugly. But of course, they're not going to admit the truth about it and just come up with some BS. And we have an article here from The Gamer. Yes, I don't like this faggot-ass website either. It is what it is. And the headline reads, "Okay, let's talk about Kay Vess's face. Key takeaway, the chuds are right." I don't even know what a chud is. I don't know what that means. I don't know where that word came from, but they love to call us that. But let's continue. Kay Vess does look weird. It's not for the reason they tell you though. It could be because of technical issues and limitations, or just because she was supposed to look like that. Whatever it is, it's not because of a conspiracy against gamers to make women in video games more ugly. Not everything is a conspiracy against you. Sometimes games just look weird. Stop sending people abuse on the internet, and that is bullshit. We never do that. Think about it. We talk about the game and we get hate for it. We're not talking about you, you're talking about us. Whenever one of us calls out the uglification of women in video games, we call out DEI and ESG, we get called racist and misogynist and alt-right, all these buzzwords, all these names, because you have no argument. So you just gotta throw out a bunch of buzzwords that you hear every other fucking queer say. So we're not sending abuse, we're not talking about you, we're talking about the game and you're talking about us. That's why you're writing this article about us. Because you're mad that we're calling it out. And secondly, stop with the bullshit about limitations and technical and hardware issues. That is bullshit and you know it. The Eastern developers don't have to deal with this. I'll show a recent example. Look at the woman in Black Myth Wukong. 1-to-1 of the actresses that played the character. Where's this technical limitation for them? And they have less people working on the team. They have a smaller budget. But these multi-billion-dollar companies like Ubisoft with tens of thousands of employees or thousands of employees, I don't know exactly, they have more technical limitations than a fucking Chinese studio with probably less than 100 people. Get the fuck out of here. You are full of shit. And there's plenty of other examples from Japan as well. Look at the women in Resident Evil. Yes, Resident Evil has this cartoony like art style to the characters. You can still tell that the actress looks just like the characters. And you can see here the different women from the games looks just like the character. But magically, when it comes to America, there's a technical limitation. It's all bullshit. They're lying to you. They're purposely going out of their way to make women ugly. They hate femininity. They hate beautiful women. It's always the ugly ones that want to ruin beautiful women, want to promote obesity and attack beautiful women. They hate men as well, so they want to ruin what men like, which is video games and beautiful women in video games. But let's continue reading. Long before Star Wars Outlaws launch, a very loud and very annoying subsection of the general gaming population has been kicking up a fuss about his protagonist, the scoundrel Kay Vess, looking weird and ugly. This was compounded by the fact that the actress who plays her, Humberly Gonzalez, is very beautiful and glamorous. Countless people posted side-by-side comparisons of the character and her actress and complained that they didn't look alike, because they don't. I can show a comparison. They ruined that woman. They ruined a woman's beautiful looks because they wanted to make women ugly in video games. And a lot of gamers were defending Humberly Gonzalez until she said that gaming is misogynist. I just made a video about that recently. Go watch that video. But before that, gamers were on her side, and you can clearly see they made her character ugly on purpose. But let's continue. There's also been a significant number of gamers pushing back against this wave of hate and abuse directed towards the developers. Many say the screenshots where Kay looks weird are cherry-picked from particularly bad angles, that she just looks like a scruffier Humberly without makeup, or that these people otherwise kicking up a fuss about a perfectly normal looking character. She's not perfectly normal looking, she's hideous and ugly and looks like a man. But she is a gender swap version of Han Solo. But let's continue reading. Kay Vess does look weird, but not because a conspiracy. Here's the thing, it's not wrong to say that Kay looks weird, especially in the game. I played about 20 hours of Star Wars Outlaws and several times I noticed some strange facial modeling. Kay very often looks bug-like, kinda like Guardians of the Galaxy Mantis with big dark irises. There are also times where she looks fine, but the facial animations more broadly aren't amazing for any of the characters, and both things contribute to making her look a little odd in some cutscenes. But most of the people complaining aren't even saying that about a company like Ubisoft. With this much time and money, should have been a more refined character animation. Some are saying that Sweet Baby Inc., a consultancy firm that, as far as we know, has no involvement with the game, is intentionally trying to make female female characters more ugly to make some kind of political point. More broadly, the idea of Cave's face is a result of diversity activists trying to uglify video game women is being pushed on by gamers to drum up anger so that blue ticks on Twitter can make money off their rage baiting. And we never said Sweet Baby specifically had involvement with this game, we just know they worked with Ubisoft before. They worked with Ubisoft on Assassin's Creed Valhalla, they worked with Ubisoft on Assassin's Creed Shadows right now. That game's not out yet at the time of this recording, so wouldn't surprise me if they also worked with them on this game as well. Do I personally think that? I'm not sure, because I feel like if they did, the character would be a black woman. Just saying. But it doesn't even matter because they're doing the same thing anyway, because all these people think alike. All these like progressive idiots, they all do the same shit. They hate femininity. They want to push this nasty, masculine, angry, bitchy type of women. Which Kay isn't angry or bitchy, but she's ugly as fuck. And they do this in all these different franchises across movies and games and comics. You get the idea. So that doesn't mean you need Sweet Baby Inc. Specifically, it just means you people all think alike. And there's a bunch of ugly women, diverse women, activists trying to make women ugly because they are ugly. I guarantee you that some of the people behind the game, maybe even a writer, the writer is a woman. She's doing a self-insert character. She could be ugly as fuck. I wouldn't be surprised at all. But let's continue. There are many possible reasons for Kay's appearance. Despite what grifters on the internet will tell you, a grifter is just somebody with their own opinions that makes videos on the internet. But let's continue. Kay's face is not the product of a culture war. There are a lot of reasons why she might not look like that. And none of them are that developers and journalists are working in tandem to take hot women away from you. Maybe the facial mocap just wasn't up to par. Most of the characters don't look super realistic, which AAA games should be moving away from anyway. Outlaws also runs on the Snowdrop engine, known for running games like Division 2 and Mario plus Rabbids, both games which are not geared towards depicting cinematic narrative adventures like this. That's irrelevant. It doesn't matter if it's cinematic or adventures or aiming for realism. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean the women are ugly, have to be ugly, I mean. That's not the same thing as just going out of your way to make the women ugly after you do the mocap. And start with the bullshit about the mocap wasn't up to par. This is a multi-billion-dollar company. How is it mocap terrible? Why are they using bad equipment in the first place? They can easily afford better ones. They can afford the best in the industry. I don't know anything about the Snowdrop engine. If it could do a huge range of games from Mario plus Rabbids to Division 2, what's the fucking problem? Division 2 is more realistic and Mario is obviously extremely cartoony. If they have a wide range of types of games they can do, what does it have to do with them going out of their way to make the women hideous as fuck? It doesn't sound like the engine is the problem at all. This bitch is an idiot. Let's continue. The conspiracy has always been the same. Developers are making women less hot because they hate you. If it wasn't true then, it isn't true now. The reality is that developers probably hate you because you keep abusing them online over baseless conspiracy. We're not abusing anybody online. That's bullshit. They call us bigots and racists all the time for calling this stuff out. We're not talking about them, we're talking about the game. That's basically the end of the article. The bitch kept repeating herself throughout the article. I'm not taking her seriously. Stop projecting. It seems like every week you see developers attacking the gamers for not wanting some gay, trans, nasty ass characters in the game. You're clearly biased like every other journalist, and I'm not taking you seriously on top of that because I checked your Twitter profile and you identify as they, them. So you're a mentally ill, stupid bitch who don't even know that women have pussies and men have penises. So I'm not taking you seriously. There's no such things as they, them. You should be locked up in a fucking mental hospital. Don't let these idiots gaslight you. There's plenty of examples of developers all across the industry making women ugly. When are we talking about the devs themselves unless they specifically talk about us? Or unless they say some shit beforehand. Like we check the history of their Twitter and they're saying some activist shit. We're talking about the game, they're talking about us. That should tell you who's sending hate towards who. And I don't have much else to say. All these developers in this stupid ass website, The Gamer, trying to gaslight gamers for noticing the obvious, go fuck yourself.